talk show. Today I'm so excited to have our friend, what's your name, honey?
Miss Hilda.
Miss Hilda is joining us today. So the topic we thought we would talk about today is with homeowners insurance and really a lot of different insurance prices going up. A lot of people have been asking us to reshop their policies, and we just thought maybe we would talk about some things to consider with that. But before I start in my little spiel, I just wanted to see what specific questions you might have.
Well, my house insurance for sure has gone way up. It's much higher than it was 25 years ago. It's really hard to afford it these days.
Aw, I'm sorry. We keep hearing that a lot, actually.
Well, I was going to ask you to reshop my home insurance to find me something cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, so after the show, I'll be happy to go over that with you, and we can run some things and see what we can do. But we also wanted to talk to you and to our viewers out there about some things to consider before we actually move you to a different company. So you've been with your current insurance company for 20 years. That's a long time.
Yes, they've been good to me
They've
in
been
those
good to
20
you?
years. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, one thing to consider with that is you've been there 20 years, so you're probably getting some sort of loyalty discount. So if you move to a different company, you're not going to get that from, the next company until you've been there a while.
Oh, I didn't know they can do that they give you
Yep.
a loyalty discount?
Yep, most of them do. And then another thing is, I don't know what your house looked like 20 years ago, but typically when you start a new policy, they send an inspector out. So if we move you to a new company, there will be an inspection. So it's a good idea to think ahead and just see if there's things that need to be worked on your house before we move you. Like if you have asbestos siding, if you, your roof isn't in the best shape,
Or some of that stuff my son dropped off in my yard.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or if you've got any, those little antique, like metal toy kind of things that could just be a hazard if they're just kind of thrown in a pile in your yard or something.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a good idea. We can get a checklist for you, go over all that, and then run quotes and go from there.
Like probably the old wash machine beside my house is not good?
Probably not a good idea, and that brings me back to my point with the loyalty discount is, if we move you somewhere before we go over this list of things and the inspection has some red flags on it, the new company could say, you know what, we can't have you because it's too hazardous, and then you might want to go to your current company, but you're not going to get the same rate as you've had because it'll be starting completely over instead of that 20 years.
Will they send another inspector out though?
They probably would, so you would probably still end up in the same boat.
So I need to clean my yard up maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I had my roof fixed. It's been probably 35 years.
Oh man. Well, after the show, we'll talk about it, see what options we can do. But until then, we just want to thank you all for watching and join us next week for another fun guest.